Welcome back, Halo followers. Today we have a lot of special, juicy content to go over involving Halo Infinite's update because a new blog just came out inside Infinite and it's all about audio. Now, before you jump off and say, okay, I don't care about audio, I get it, but listen, there's a lot of juicy stuff here, including this, all right, new concept art as well as a new weapon tease, all right. So firstly, let's just talk about this image, and then I'm gonna roll some Forerunner ambient audio that you're going to hear inside the Forerunner interiors in Halo Infinite that 343 has released. But just a few things I want you to pay attention to real quick. Of course, this is going to be a very quick breeze, a quick juicy, just focusing on the juicy stuff in this content update. All right, so this image shows that there are hex walls that have basically damaged the interior of Zeta Halo, because as we recently learned, yes, it is confirmed that the reason why these hex walls are all over the place is because Zeta Halo has sustained massive damage. So not exactly very surprising, but you know, going into these environments that look very familiar from like Halo 1, 2, and 3, well, they're going to be probably very different now. They're going to be broken and destroyed and dismantled in a way that is probably jumping over these hex walls, maybe even some platforming of these things moving around up and down. But we also see a few of them are floating, all right? So there's a lot of opportunity here for some new gameplay in what would be a normal Forerunner hallway. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to the Forerunner interior sounds. These are released by 343 and kind of give us an idea as to what we're going to be hearing in the background while playing Halo Infinite. All right, so pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about is a new weapon tease. So I've actually been trying to design one of these for my Halo the Lost Wolf series, but there's actually no Brute rifle in Halo lore as of yet, unless you're talking about Halo Wars 2. So yeah, there's a lot of Brute weapons over there, but we haven't actually been able to play with a Brute assault rifle, and now we have something that looks pretty much like that. All right, so it's not exactly brute-ish. It's, of course, a banished power weapon, and this weapon is called the Skewer. We've never seen it before, and it looks pretty cool. This is concept art, by the way, so certainly is able to change. Now, most of all, in this update, they discussed about how the music and the sounds and the world are going to be changing from other Halo games. Let's talk about that for a second. There's a few more images that we still have to get through. But they say that from a campaign music perspective, it's all about capturing brighter themes like hope and believe while embracing the mystery and beauty of Zeta Halo. So we're not going to get that depressing aura that we got in Halo 4 and Halo 5, by the way. All right. Master Chief and Halo players have never been so overwhelmed by challenging situations, even facing the potential end of humanity or the end of the universe. There is always a sense of hope and heroism and confidence. But that is a massive statement to make, and it is just building upon the idea that somehow the Banished or Cortana or maybe even the Flood are involved with destroying the entire galaxy and even bigger than that, right? But anyway, they say For Halo Infinite, we have identified our core pillars, one of which was mentioned above as hope. Another falls into the ancient mystery sci-fi category, and a third is military honor and sense of duty. Connecting each of those together are common themes like a sense of wonder as well as heroism. Paul Crocker, which I believe is no longer with 343, said this at one point, shared this with the entire Infinite team, was to take the familiar and flip it to create something surprising, but not wholly unfamiliar, right? Musically, that made a lot of sense and became one of the guideposts along the way. And they say we really focus on emphasizing the combat sounds in multiplayer to help deliver a more immersive game experience. We have very cool new music direction in multiplayer, which Joel can surely speak to more in the future. Players can enjoy in many places like searching matchmaking or intro and outro screens, but we're keeping the music minimal and the match itself to focus on clear and impactful combat audio. Of course, we didn't forget about the fans' favorite Halo multiplayer announcer voice in there as well. So first time that's been confirmed, I think. Obviously, I didn't think that wasn't going to be there, but yeah, it's nice to see a confirmation. So I have a few new images here before we're all bored to death by the essays. I get it. So this is a multiplayer map that they revealed recently. I think that overall, I don't know why they revealed this one. I think it looks rather flat and squarish and uninteresting as far as a design goes. But regardless, what they're showing here is how audio is going to be reflected across the map. They say that basically this image displays the in-game voxel debug view of one of the multiplayer maps that they shared previously, and the red lines depict voxels in the map which intersect with walls, floors, objects in the map. This sound then travels from voxel to voxel, finding the shortest possible path to the listener. So as you can see, that there is actually some pretty cool technology going behind how audio is going to be heard throughout the map, how it's going to echo through the map, how it's going to interact with objects in the world. So what we see here now is like a top-down view of what looks like the map that we saw in Halo Infinite's campaign reveal last year in July. So what the heck is going on here? First off, you can actually see the gameplay loop much better. You can see all the figure 8 going on, and that there are lots of places to explore. I'm assuming everything that has a dot you can definitely explore, because this is essentially the color coordinated dots, they say, are actually wireframe spears indicating the location of various audio transmitters which have been procedurally placed by this system. So the fact that it's procedurally generated is actually really cool. I'm sure that there's some custom work done in there, but I mean, just look at these big ships that have crashed and kind of destroyed the environment a little bit. I think there should probably be more destruction here, but at the end of the post, they actually go on to talk about the team's, basically their personal experiences working on Halo Infinite, which does have some mildly juicy stuff to it, but also they confirm at the very end some gameplay, a gameplay segment, and how the audio is going to be, reflected in, just your normal fight against Banished with some Marines at your side. So it's probably going to push the video a little bit longer than I wanted to, but yeah, I suggest sticking around because this is pretty cool stuff. The one person at 343 says this: in our day to day, we're each worrying about a dozen different issues that are competing for our attention, but when a playtest begins for a few minutes, we're just worrying about 2 flags and controlling power weapons. Folks are getting a better sense of things coming together, and we're seeing teams coming together afterward to fix and mitigate issues that they themselves experience during play. Another person says, we regularly invite our most competitive devs to join our pro team for no holds barred recurring playtest, where they treat the match like we're post-launch and you need to win like you need oxygen. The group plays several times a week at the end of the day and regularly spend hours grinding out the sweatiest playtest I've ever seen. This past month, I finished implementing the voiceover of the multiplayer announcer of the game's medal system. Designing brand new medals for Halo Infinite has been a blast. However, a favorite moment on the feature was selecting the vocal performances for multi-kills. I played each take and rearranged them continuously until I landed where I felt the best order was, knowing that finalizing my choices was making a contribution to Halo's history. So yeah, that's pretty big stuff. They are developing Halo, right? And at the end of the post, they talk about a little bit of gameplay. And, I'm not going to read through all this, but, if you want to, you can pause and look at it. But essentially, Master Chief is encountering some Banished and some Marines that have been, at one point captured, and you basically go in there and you save them, and you start hearing the audio. There's thousands of lines of audio that they say that are meant to actually inform, amuse, celebrate, and taunt us, which is and actually done sometimes in new and delightfully devious ways, which is pretty cool to hear about, you know? So that's just a quick recap. If you want to see the whole post, then just check out the description, click on the vlog, and if you want to read it yourself, I might be coming at this later with a much more in-depth, like kind of 30-40 minute video where I talk about this all in detail, but only if you guys want me to. And of course, yeah, this is great. I don't know what we're getting next month, but you know, I hope it's not audio. It can't be audio again, right? So anyway, this is supposed to be a pretty lame update, in my opinion, and it turned out to be still pretty cool. They reused a lot of the images that we've seen before, which was kind of a disappointment. I think it was an opportunity to show some new stuff, but with that being said, guys, be sure to smash that like button blue and subscribe. Join me on Halo Follower for over 9 years, going on to 10 of following Halo. All right, you guys take care. Peace.